In front of me is a pure blue iPhone 13 Pro Max. Looking at the exterior, the phone is still very well protected, with no major dents or signs of dropping. Since the phone heats up, it must be able to power on. Let's turn it on directly to test. After powering on, let's enter the fan's password. Now let's go to settings general about this device. It shows a 256GB China version iPhone 13 Pro Max. While it's on, we need to test all the functions one by one, and also check the battery health. Battery health is still 88%. That matches the fan's description. The back of the phone feels very hot now. After receiving this phone, we also noticed it restarts, but the restarting is very irregular. And the more irregular the restart, the harder it is to locate the problem. Let me ask you a question. What phone do you use, and what problem does it have? Just 1 minute later, the back of the phone is extremely hot, and the battery drops almost 1% every minute. Going into analytics and improvements, we search for Panic with 4 at the beginning. But there's only Panic Base. On April 1st, it restarted 3 times. There are restart codes inside, but those codes can only be references. They can't directly prove what the issue is. While testing, the phone once again restarted and shut down. What is irregular restarting? Why is irregular restarting hard to diagnose? Anyone watching up to here is definitely a loyal supporter. Double tap the screen, send me a like, and I hope today's video teaches you something useful. Thank you. Most iPhone unexpected restarts are regular. For example, every 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or whenever a certain function is used, or when temperature is high. Those are regular restarts. After opening the screen, we can see this phone has definitely been repaired before. It's not the first disassembly. The inside is very dirty. Does anyone know what this little thing is? Why did it end up here? Looking again at the motherboard, on top of the shielding plate sticker, there's no hard drive and no shielding. There are blue marks rubbed off. The battery also has traces of solder paste. Next, we protect the front camera and Face ID. When removing this metal plate, we were surprised to find the shielding underneath was missing. This area had also been repaired before. Normally, there should be a fixed metal plate here to protect the chips, capacitors, and resistors inside. We disconnect, power, and remove the screen. After removing the screen, we check again. The top of the battery is indeed very dirty. Looking closely at the motherboard elsewhere, the top of the hard drive and shielding plate indeed have blue and pink marks. For this heating and leakage situation, we need to power the motherboard for testing. At this time, pressing the power button, current jumps to 70 plus mA, meaning there's no leakage when powering on. But is there leakage in standby? We need to boot into the home screen and check standby current. Some people just quietly watch, but secretly they like, comment, share, repost, and follow. Those people are the cutest. Okay, standby current is only a few mA. Anything under 10 milliamperes is normal. That's strange. All peripherals and motherboard show no leakage. So why does it heat up after a while and restart? Since the motherboard was repaired before, we need to remove it for closer inspection. Taking out the motherboard, we find the back sticker also shows wiping marks. Looking again at the motherboard, it has also been split into layers. Between top and bottom, there's lots of solder paste and dirt, and the foam around the motherboard socket is also missing stickers and shielding. So what's the role of these stickers and foam? After isolating the motherboard, we test boot current again. Standalone motherboard boot current is also normal. This means no leakage exists. That's odd. Where exactly is the heating and restarting coming from? At this moment, we suddenly thought of the missing shielding above the battery connector, but the metal plate fixing the flex cable was installed, and the 3 screw posts of this plate are grounded. But the middle of the plate had no black insulation sticker, so it directly contacted the capacitors, resistors, and chips below where shielding was missing. This would cause capacitor power supply to short to ground, creating heating and restarts. So is our guess correct? We need to observe further. Looking at the schematics on the computer, these large capacitors and inductors, if they're grounded, it definitely causes immediate restart or shutdown, even overheating. In severe cases, later circuits can burn out, and this chip's power comes directly from the battery positive, through the chip, to the charging IC, and then to all other chips' main supply. So a short here could cause many issues, but most power lines have protection. When shorted, the phone immediately restarts or shuts down. That explains the random heating and restarting. We first clean the motherboard, peel off the damaged stickers on the back. Why does Apple use so many thermal stickers and foam? What do they do? All the foam around connectors acts as shock absorption and insulation. It also prevents dust and dirt. The black stickers mostly serve as heat dissipation. We choose one shielding plate from another scrap board to install for this fan. These foam pads and stickers don't directly affect operation. With or without them, the phone can still work, but they affect long-term durability after repair. They also help protect against shocks and water damage, so they're auxiliary but important. We apply solder paste around the missing shield location. Install the plate we removed earlier. Carefully align it. Wait for the solder to melt, then quickly remove the heat gun, let solder solidify, then clean it. Check again if soldering is correct. Remove motherboard, wipe back again. Then reapply all foam and stickers. Some act as shock absorption, some as heat dissipation. This black sticker on the front has an additional piece. to prevent the screen from directly pressing onto hard metal when dropped, so these tiny details can lead to big problems. Measuring the motherboard again shows no shorts or faults, all functions work fine. So we conclude the missing shielding caused the problem, the metal plate grounded to capacitors, and when the phone was in use, main power or charging circuits occasionally shorted, causing heat and restarts. Because the contact wasn't constant, the restarting wasn't regular, so a tiny detail caused major issues. Fortunately, we found it in time. Before burning chips or the CPU, after cleaning, we remove residue glue around the case, apply a new waterproof seal, clean the back and sides of the screen, then reinstall. Reconnect the display and touch flex cables. Last step, reconnect the battery, peel off the waterproof seal cover, and don't forget to replace the little part that fell at the start. It prevents the screen from pressing directly on the earpiece, leaving necessary spacing. Even the smallest part has a big role. Apple is truly obsessed with detail. Installation complete. We clamp the phone to seal, successfully waterproofed, install bottom screws, then boot up. After powering on, we test all functions again. Check charging's fast charging is enabled. In such cases, we can't say it's fully repaired yet. After testing all functions, we must let it sit overnight. The next day, the phone hadn't restarted even once. Why? We unlocked to check. Before locking yesterday, we left it on the About page. If it had restarted, today it would boot to the home screen, but it's still on About, so it didn't restart once. Also, the phone no longer overheats. Thanks to the fan for supporting me. If you like my work, double tap the screen, and if you haven't followed yet, hit follow.